Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Child, it is basically Friday. It is almost midnight, and we round here have a chit chat about what the versus battle. The versus battle. Tyrese versus Tank. Okay, Tank versus Tyrese. Okay, yelling and screaming and gyrating. Okay, and vibrato. Okay, and outfit changes and cracking jokes and guest appearances and everything in between. Child, I had a good old time watching, and I'm actually happy I did not watch it live with y'all so that I can like relax and laugh and stuff and whatnot. But here we are together to have a whole little conversation about the verse. Did y'all watch the verses? I hope y'all did. It was a good time, child. When I tell you I could not breathe when Tank made up a song about the turtleneck, I said, not a turtleneck. Not a turtleneck, girl. Look, it's late. Okay, I got my robe on, child. I'm not putting no shirt on. You gonna get what you gonna get because it's bedtime. It's time to go to bed. Okay, but I was like, this is what I wore watching it. I was real relaxed, real smooth. I had one glass of wine, not two, and we here together, y'all. How y'all doing? How was everyone? This was an absolute joy based off the last verses we saw that was kind of lackluster, okay? So we would get into all the foolishness, the good singing, okay? The outfit changes, all of that. But y'all know, first things first, like the video, okay? Subscribe to the channel, okay? Do those things, okay? Watch the other content too. Okay, there's other videos around here. Go watch them immediately. Okay, but we're gonna get into this after show chit chat about the verses and whatnot. Cause I said, bitch, what y'all doing? What has happened? Okay, but look, how y'all doing? Have y'all liked the video already? Okay, hit the like button and all those things. I'm here on time. I kept having to push the live. I thought the live started at 8:30 Eastern. And I'm like, cool, it'll probably be like a little hour. So make your live at 10. Bitch, it's 11. It's 11. And here we are again. Okay, it was a crazy night. It was a fun night. I really think they both was prepared. They both was prepared. Now I have I know I think one. Okay, I'll say it in a second. I know I think one. Okay. And even though there was no like there wasn't a loser per se, is somebody around here was a bit more prepared. The turtleneck. He said, Tyrese, you gonna suffocate. I said, not suffocation. Don't kill him, Jesus, not today, Lord. But let's get into the stuff. Okay. You didn't see it yet? Go ahead and it's on YouTube. Go out. It's on YouTube. It's on the IG, on Apple, on Complex and stuff. It's everywhere, okay? And I said I want to get in here. Look, we all should be in our PJ. We all want to go to bed. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. Why am I here? I don't know. Okay. Look, what's on my screen? So I was fixing my screen early and I must have scratched it or something. Girl, I think I scratched my computer screen, girl. That's a little marker. Okay. All right, bye. Anyway, look, I feel, okay, the Cash Money versus was shorter. I think they didn't want them fighting. Okay, I think that's what it was. Okay, look, I see some folks saying Tyrese. I see some folks saying Tank. Who you think? Let me put a poll. Let me put a poll in. Let me put a poll in. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, to mute the thing. Let me add a little poll. Who? Okay, who? Who? I gotta write it in because I'm a one-woman show. Okay. Who, girl? What am I saying? Okay. Who won the battle? Okay, we're gonna say one time. Should I put turtleneck? Turtleneck. Okay, y'all go ahead and y'all can put in the poll who won the battle. Okay, A or B. Okay, because I love it all. Okay, again, I watch from top to bottom. Okay, and I feel like Versus has finally got things right as far as the length of a verses, who they book for the verses, having the right crowd for the verses, because having people in the crowd who is not singing the songs, who's not enjoying the music, it makes it boring. And they said, no, we not gonna have no bad audience this time. No sorry, Bob. Okay. Now y'all know I got some pictures, right? Y'all know I got the pictures because if not, I'll be forgetting. Okay. Now look. Okay. Now look. I don't know these people. I don't know that man. I don't know that lady. But when the verses came on, they were talking, right? And they was talking yeah, so yeah, y'all, we at the verses. How y'all doing today? Yeah, we are here for Tank versus. I'm like, why y'all reading your phones? How y'all some hosts who look, even the best hosts, sometimes we may have notes here and there, but you are supposed to be able to entertain and engage with the crowd without needing your cell phone to read. It's taking Tyrese. The fuck you need notes for? Okay, I come by every day. I'm not every day. I'm here all the time. Okay, I don't really have notes like that. I may have notes for little pieces of information, but when I'm talking to y'all, it's off the dome. And I'm like, y'all was boring. Y'all was like, and he from Chicago. I don't know where she's from. And I'm like, y'all fucking up from the beginning. What is y'all doing? Okay. I'm like, look, this is the thing. Look, they should not need a teleprompter. There's nothing that anyone is discussing on verses that you need a script to read from. Okay. It's verses. Tank is a legendary singer. He's a producer. He's a writer. Tyrese is a screamer and a crier. Okay, there are things that you can do. This was playing 2 weeks ago. Okay, and this my opinion. Nobody who was hosting the verses should need they both A and B, her and him and her. They both had their phones reading, and it wasn't even saying much of nothing. So that's the first thing that made me upset. Not them things, thank you. Okay, let me cover my titties up. Let me cover. Look. I said I am. It's nighttime, baby. Okay, the titties on titties. Okay, the titties are going to titty. Okay. Anyway, thank you. But they should not let anybody host. Okay. But separate once these two individuals got off the stage, it got interesting. Okay, it got fun. Now, boo them people. Now, Tank and Tyrese came out. Now, you can tell that Tyrese was prepared for this. Okay, Tyrese said, "I'm gonna come and see what y'all want." And then I may sing a little bit. I may crack a few jokes. I don't know. But I'm sorry, Tank. Tank prepared. Okay. Tank said it's a show. Okay. Tank said, I'm gonna come and sing my songs. I'm gonna come perform for y'all. I'm gonna go real slow with it. I'm not gonna take my shirt off. So he did not take off his shirt. Okay. Also, Tyrese did not cry. Okay, y'all know that was my question. Okay, will Tank wear a shirt? He did. Okay, will Tyrese cry? He didn't. Okay, but I was also right in saying screaming vocals and shirtless yelling. Okay, because they were both screaming the vocals and with no shirtless, but Tank's shirt was kind of see through and had holes all up and through it. Okay, but I said, girl, okay. So yeah, to me, Tank really came out swinging. Shades on at nighttime, child. Little see through shirt. Okay, nipples getting some air. Okay, little necklace, little bracelet around here. You know what I'm saying? Singing something. Now, I don't look. I did not write down the names and no songs. Like I did not. I didn't. I could not. I could not. I did not write down the names of the song because I didn't know some. I could sing along. Okay, I could sing along. But that's about it. Okay. It was out the night, child. The verses it started at 8. That was 2 hours to go. Yeah, 2 hours ago. They're both Capricorns. I'm a Capricorn. Tyrese? Tyrese a Capricorn? I wouldn't think that at all. Okay. But Tank came out. A good time was had. Okay. He was singing songs and do wop bop bop boops. Tyrese ass. Tyrese came out. Was he hood tie? Remember when Tyrese was a rapper? Hoodie on, a gold chain, and a coffee cup. I said, "So why you got a coffee cup? You got the coffee cup. What's going on?" Okay. Now I took a couple notes. Okay. Tank came out singing some slow songs. Okay. Setting the mood, setting the vibe. Okay. Tyrese said, "Well, Tank right here putting y'all to sleep." Okay. Let's get in. Now when Tyrese came on, Tyrese did "Well You Like Me on Top." Something the song with him, it was the Brat song. When the brat put a skirt on and put her titties out like these and she had a little video on the beach all night long, all night long. Tell me. I was surprised that Tyrese came out to a song that wasn't his. Yes, he's on the chorus. I get that, but I was surprised he didn't come out with one of his own songs. Okay, he then went into the Chingy song. I said, okay, Chingy, fine. Now every time I want to leave, something keep pulling me back. I love that song. Okay, the whole part of my young hood. Okay, he brought out Chingy, and what that's the look. Was Tank wearing a wig? I said, is that his Tank's hair? I was confused. Okay. Oh yeah, it was called "What You Like." Me on top, you all my body. Okay, but Tyrese sang the hook of that song. And I'm like, it was weird for me that he came out to that song. Okay. But him and Tyrese and that Jinx, look, me too. Every time my ex Meech called my fucking phone, well, we was together then. Every time Meech called my phone, that's the song that played. And now I kind of hate that song, but love it. But Chingy coming out to rap his part, Tyrese on the chorus, that was good. That made sense. He really could have came out with this song first because you did not have the brat there. Okay? You did not have the brat there. And if you didn't know the brat song, you may be like, what fucking song is Tyrese singing? Who the fuck is that? Because they did not play Brat's rap part. You just heard Tyrese, Tyrese, yeah. And I'm like, what you doing, Tyrese? What you doing? Okay. Yeah, that's my ex's name years ago. I said his name. Yeah, it don't matter. He long, long, long time ago. A whole different ex. Okay. Um, but okay, back to this. I love this song. I love Chingy as a rapper. Okay. Chingy songs was a whole vibe that little time he was out. Okay. And so cool. They out there. Just get off that man's stoop. What are you doing? Okay. Now Tank then brought out no, when Tank asked Tyrese, why didn't you do your own songs? I said, why didn't you? It's a versus battle. You should at least come out and sing either song you wrote for yourself, or you should not come out singing a song that you're on somebody else's chorus. Did not like that. Now Tank then brought out Jay Valentine. I said, who's gonna go have sex? Girl, I said, let me cover my titties because they're gonna be doing it on the stage. I've never seen Tank in concert. I don't even think I've ever seen Tank perform besides a couple snippets here and there. You know what I'm saying? But he right out there about that. They was singing about fucking on floors, okay, getting fucked slow, going deep. I said, girl, going deep. Okay. They then kind of parlay that into slowly. Now there must be some kind of issue with Tank performing slowly. Because look, there's something about the song Slowly that probably makes people either want to give head or get head slowly. I don't know which one. I don't know. However, I never really see Tank perform slowly much. I don't think I even ever see the video that much either, wherever. But the song Slowly is such an amazing sexual entree. Okay. I just feel like it's a sexual entree. Okay. That gets you in the mood to do some things. Okay. To do some things around here. And I'm upset that he couldn't do or didn't do Slowly in full. Okay, it makes me upset. I was hoping about, he gotta do Slowly. Okay, you have to slowly go into Slowly. But he did. Okay. However, at the end of it, they did a little bit of it. It was cool. Okay. And I like the fact that Jay Valentine, who sounded great too, like they played off each other. And I'm like, okay, Tank ain't come to play. Now Tank cracked jokes all night. You know how talented you have to be in a sexual mind. This was a performance for the ladies and some of the men's too. Okay. And some of the men's too. But Tank fully came mentally prepared to fuck people. Not literally, but figuratively. Okay. And Jay Valentine was also on that same time. Okay, because I'm like, how y'all talking about fucking people on the floor and doing things fastly and slowly and going in? I'm like, girl, what time is it? Is it bedtime for Bonzo, bitch? Okay, number 5, inside joke. It's just things going on or whatever. So cool. Now Tyrese kept changing clothes. I'm like, Tyrese, what you keep on? Tyrese kept leaving the stage and would come back in a different outfit. Tank wore the same outfit the whole time. I am a firm believer in you don't need outfit changes for the verses. You don't. Because it ain't about the fashions. Get you a good outfit one time and that's it. Okay, one good time and that's it. Tyrese came back out, child, out in his little suit, smoking a cigarette. He brought his girlfriend Zelly out that's on the couch and her little leopard print things and whatever. Uh Now Lala Milan was also sitting out there. Mona Scott Young was sitting back there by the band and whatnot. I don't know who the other two women were on the couch. That confused me because I said, who was they? Who I don't know who they is. But Tyrese, I feel like Tyrese was trying to be in that I'm a smooth operator. I'm a smooth singer. I'm with my woman. I don't know what he thought it was. It was entertaining. Do not get me wrong. Tank came to sing songs and get vaginas moist. Tyrese came to change clothes and scream and sing. Okay? Because Tyrese had maybe 4 or 5 outfit changes. And when Tank said he keep changing jackets, they all ugly. I said, girl, your jacket gotta be ugly. Okay. Well, no, yeah. The woman sitting next to him, Zelly, that's his girlfriend. So the girl in the leopard print outfit, that's his girlfriend, Zelly. The lady in the all white next to him, I don't know who she is. The next girl is Lala Milan, and I don't know who the lady is on the end of the couch. So I didn't know who 2 of the 4 women was on the couch, but I know his girlfriend Zelly. Because we see her all the time and whatnot. Okay. But yeah, but Tyrese was so focused to me on changing clothes and being bald. Okay. I just wish he would have been more prepared. It was a great time. Okay. Tyrese and the turtleneck. I said, hold on, turtleneck. Girl, why you saying all that? I was cracking up. You hear me? I was like, because he would change clothes. He came out in a hoodie. And even the hoodie had a turtleneck. And he kept changing suit jackets. And each time he did, Tank would say, would he keep recycling the turtleneck? And he gonna strangle himself. He gonna suffocate. And I was like, I wish I could play. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see if I can skip to the turtleneck song because when he went ahead and was singing turtleneck, I said, "Oh, what is we doing here? Where is it? Is this it? Yes. I want to try. Oh, damn, the video private. It's private under complex. It ain't over. Damn, I think they took it down already. And they probably had to be sure the songs they want on there can be on there, and whatnot. But the turtleneck song, Tank has to go into a studio and sing that song. And the fact that the crowd was singing along, it was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious the whole time. But Tyrese was singing. Okay? Good old time. Mouth wide open. He ain't cried not one time. And I was happy he didn't cry. But I still feel like, again, it was a band. That was Tyrese's side of the band. Okay. Again, a full band and all that stuff with the people, the singers, the band players, men singing, women singing, keyboards and guitars and all that. So, I like it. He did keep having to ask them to cut his music up. So I do think that was the issue he was having, where his music wasn't as loud as he wanted it to be. But it was fine. It was fine. Do I feel like now this Tank side? Now, Tank had a whole black woman with a whole pregnant belly. She got to be at least 8 months pregnant. She was just singing her ass off. Okay, I feel like Tank's side, Tank's background singers was not better. They were more involved with singing back and forth with Tank. I don't think Tyrese engaged his side as much as Tank did and whatnot. Tyrese did eventually. But again, it wasn't that Tyrese's side had bad singers. It Tank made sure to um give his band and the singers time to flex. Show how they can sing. Okay, when the pregnant girl was hitting them notes, I said, "You bitch, you better hit them notes." So I do feel like Tank's band, yeah, they were tighter, more precise. Maybe they rehearsed more with Tank. I'm saying, so that was a thing, okay. But again, both sides they did good, but I just felt like Tank's side was a little bit better, okay. Again, Tyrese in a whole new jacket, okay, and even though they both crack jokes at each other, you can tell. I don't think Tyrese was ever like mad or upset or taking things seriously. However, I like how he played into all the jokes being said. Okay, because Tank was cracking them all night. Okay, about Tyrese being late. He in the back changing clothes, child. He going to cry in the car. His girlfriend around here, what he doing, child? His songs ain't shit. You can sing loud if you want to. It ain't gonna make He was going and cracking jokes the whole time, and that made it funnier. Mainly because it's like, sir, you do keep changing jackets and wearing that same turtleneck. Okay, you are recycling the turtleneck. Okay, you are. And he was singing songs like not that long. I feel like Tank would sing a bit longer. He would sing songs a little bit longer than Tyrese would and whatnot. And I was like, I don't know why. Okay. However, the whole time was very entertaining. Okay. It was funny. It was enjoyable. Okay. Not again. I said, is Tank wearing a wig? I said, is that Tank's hair? I said, Tank's hair coming? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Because sometimes when people have toupees, okay, and if the glue ain't gluing how it's supposed to glue, it can come up around the seams. But I said maybe that's just his hairline. Okay, maybe he don't have no bald fade. Maybe he has a little, you know what I'm saying, low whatever this is. I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know. But I swear I was like, wait a minute, is that a toupee? You don't need a toupee, Tank, at all. Don't do that. What did you do? So that's why I got a screenshot because I said, wait a minute, is that his hair? I guess so, Jesus. I don't know. Anyway, but that was a question I had for the peoples. Okay, either way it go, Tank still did great. Okay, and he was singing, and Tank had more special guests. Okay, also Tank at one point was on the keys on the piano. He made use of the stage. Okay, he was engaged with the people. Okay, singing the song directly to you. Okay, just saying it was what it was. Um, and I said we like it. Okay, we like it, and the good water bottles and stuff. Now there weren't many. I wish they would have shared the stage a bit more because Tank would go, then Tyrese would go, and so there weren't as many pictures of them together at the same time. I also wish at one point they would have had both Tank name and Tyrese name up at once, but they did not. It was always either Tank name up or Tyrese on either side. But that's me being you know what I'm saying, how I look at things. But they cracked joke. They made sure to post to point out, hey, they love their brothers. We love each other. Okay, we crack jokes all day. Tyrese was in good. I made sure to get pictures of him smiling because he was in good spirits. Okay, really, he was in really good spirits. Whatever. I'm pretty sure he had some good weed backstage. Okay, hey, I'm sure he had some good weed backstage and whatnot, and that was a good time. But Tyrese was enjoying himself, even in the turtlenecks. Okay, that's what was going on. Now, I don't know the song Tyrese was doing. I can't remember. But I was happy that he was happy. Look at Tank. Okay, I deserve. I don't know. Okay. But again, they was both child sang it. Now, even though Tank did not take off his shirt, he still showed some cleavage. Okay, so while there wasn't any shirtless singing, we seen some cleavage from Tank. And Tank did the Tyrese, hey Tyrese, you want to have a fit check? You gonna take your shirt off? I said, Tank, don't you tell that man to get naked on the stage. I don't know. Now, this is Valentine's brother. He helped write some songs. But is they drunk backstage? Because the airports is kind of crazy. So they were supposed to have more people there who could not make it. Okay, Pleasure P was supposed to be there. So when Tank, who wrote a song for Pleasure P, he had a guy who also helped write it come out. And I said, is he drunk? Because I know what a drunk person look like singing. And when that man came out, he was all I said, what are you gyrating for? What is he doing? What is happening? It was funny yet entertaining at the same time. But I'm like, is he drunk, Jesus? At least he didn't sound bad, but he didn't sound like he practiced. It sounded like I'm backstage having some drinks, sipping on my liquor, having a good time, celebrating, and Tank said, hey, Pleasure P can't make it. Can you come out and do a verse? Yeah, all right. He didn't know some of the words, but he had a good time, child. He said, y'all sing the song. Y'all know the words. They don't know the words. Now, some folk knew some of the words, whatever. But I was cackling because he was just like, I'm here. What you want me to do? Okay. I'm going to shake my little shimmy. And then that's it. Hope. I said, well, that's okay. That's fine. Okay. So again, this man came out and was singing. And it was funny because I think he was drunk. But I think he knew I'm not a part of this. I'm not on the stage. I'm supposed to be backstage, sir. But you asked me, now here I is. Now again, Tank was making sure I'm not gonna take my shirt off, but I'm gonna have it open. I'm like these. Y'all can see my stuff, but I'm not gonna take it off. I said, Tank, that's okay. Okay, you and that hairline is fine by me. Now, again, Tyrese, when Tyrese said, I'm out here in bell bottoms. So why you in bell bottoms? What's the bell bottoms? What's the bell bottoms, roses? Now Tyrese looked good. Don't get me wrong. Okay. He didn't need bell bottom pants, but he wore them. Okay, that's on him. That ain't on me. I don't control it. He does. I also love the fact that the crowd was actually very much not invited, involved and energetic and singing. Now, the one thing I hated was because folks is always on their phone like these. So while they were trying to, shoot the show, people's phones is in the way of the camera. Okay. And I'm like, move your cameras. Okay. You can't, first of all, you're there for one. It's already live for two. Put your fucking phone down. Okay? Put your fucking phone down. At least stop blocking the fucking show. That aggravated me because I watched it on YouTube. On Complex's YouTube page, and you could tell the cameras had to keep switching views because folks would be like, oh my God, Tyrese. And I'm like, bitch, you can't see Jaylee. We can't see. So they were holding their phones up, hands up in the air. And so they kept blocking the camera. And I'm like, I really do wish if you are at a live show, and I mean this kind of small, intimate situation, put your fucking phone down. If you want to record, if you can't record like this, move. Okay, there should be rules. Hey, cameras are positioned here, here, and here. So if you're here, you can't have your phone out. If you want your phone out recording, you could be in here, here, or here. There no camera. But I'm not being blocking camera angles for the fucking verses. For you to record is stupid. And it was so many. And I'm like, don't y'all see the cameras behind y'all? Why would you hold your hand up and the camera is behind you? The fuck? So that aggravated me to no end. Anyway, his bell bottoms. He was in bell bottoms. His ankles had to be hot. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, hot ass ankles. They hugged, they embraced. That was great. Okay, again, after cracking all the jokes and whatnot, it's a good thing for them to embrace and show, hey, yes, I'm talking about the fan, and I'm saying all these things. We love each other. Okay, when Tank said you can sing all the mid ass songs, it ain't gonna make them better. I said, oh, why the song gotta be mid? And I was like, that would crush my spirits. It would crush me. Tank interacting with not only his band, but with Tyrese's band too. I'm like, Tank went from his side vibing with his band, and he said, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, I'm gonna have your background thing sing songs for me too. To me, that was why Tank won this battle. Tank won this battle based off his showmanship, how he performed, how he entertained and interacted with the crowd, his jokes, the fucking the fucking turtleneck song alone won the battle. Okay, I wish I would recorded it. I know it was on IG. That fucking child. I don't know who. Oh, boom, girl! I knew it. I knew it. Hold on now. Hold on, because Instagram. I said I know somebody got to get the turtleneck song. Hold on. You should take off that turtleneck. Anytime you feel like a takeoff, that turtleneck, you gonna suffocate in this turtleneck. And the fact that again, Tank was performing he was performing when we he was performing that, and then towards the end of it, Tyrese walked out in a new jacket and the same turtleneck. And the fact that Tank just started just talking about the shirt, the turtleneck, and the band and the singers, like true musicians, was on it. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Oh, don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Oh, don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Bitch, I was wrote. You should take off that turtleneck. Anytime you feel like a takeoff, that turtleneck, you gon' suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. And Tyrese, was also singing too. I have never laughed so hard about a fucking shirt. You hear me? And I hope somebody plays the whole part of it from when Tank saw Tyrese come out and he started just talking about the turtleneck, and that turned into the song. This is only a snippet, child. It was more than just this that he was doing for the song. Okay. I'm like, girl, what is going on? It was hilarious. Anyway, because I was like, girl, not the turtleneck. Okay, anyway, but again, I tried to go back to the live that Complex had, but it's private right now. I'm pretty sure they'll probably put it back up in a minute and whatnot. So because I'll have a live tomorrow, we'll discuss more tomorrow. I should have. But I said to myself, I'm not putting a shirt on. But I said, bitch, that turtleneck. I was like, Put it on title, okay? Put the song out as a single, okay? It would go #1, okay? But the reason Tank won, as I said, Tank fully entertained the whole night. And to me, Tyrese tried to entertain in his own way, in his Tyrese way, but Tank did better. Tank performed better. Tank interacted better. And for that reason, I feel like he won. Okay, now listen to the battle. 123 votes, and y'all said that Tyrese won. Okay, and that's good one in the poll here because the winner was Tank. Okay, I think was it Tank? Am I confusing? Why can't I see the whole thing? Yes, 66% said Tank, 34% said Tyrese. Tyrese, no. Again, interaction, crowd, the people with his band, and also with Tanks, with Tyrese, both sides of the band. This was them both singing turtleneck. I'm like, is it because they was in Cali? Is it cold enough in Cali for a turtleneck and a velvet suit jacket? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. No, Sean, let me cover my titties. Okay, my titties is covered, child. When I go to bed, I'm going to bed. But them laughing together, them cracking jokes. Again, this is when I wish they would have Tank name up on one side and Tyrese name up on the other. That's the one complaint I have about the background signage is they never thought to put both their names up when they were both on stage. Like, why would I not do that? Why would I do that? Okay. Again, Tyrese was laughing, joking, or whatever. But Tyrese also needs and they were laughing and joking with each other. So it was really a great time for real. But yeah, I agree. Tyrese does need to have better stage presence. Sometimes read the room. Sometimes understand, hey, you can't be out flossing with new jackets on and slow walking. That ain't it. Now, because I love more Tyrese songs than Tank songs. I thought Tyrese would win it by a landslide. This based on the sounds of again, okay? Because that song versus I would say When We or Slowly, I'm like, that's gonna win it for me. But Tank took it over. Tank took it over. Okay. But no, what I mean is when Tank and Tyrese were both on stage at the same time, there should have been some point where both their names was up just for the visual of, Tank versus Tyrese. Like when one of them were done singing and they were both on stage, put both their names up for like 10 seconds. And then when one of them walked off stage, then take that name down. But I'm like, that's all I was trying to say. I said, but yeah, they had a good time together, child, same songs, all those things. Tank brought out Letoya Luckett, and she sang that song. You gonna regret the day you met me. That song came out. When did that song come out? It was called Regret. Letoya Luckett song Regret. It was called Regret. That song came out. Damn, 2009. Dang, it's a long time ago. But he wrote that song. So Tank brought out Letoya Luckett. Okay. And she did great. Letoya Luckett, when she finally put out her own song as a solo artist back then, she had some bops. Okay. And I think people forget that Tank wrote most of her bops. Okay, so that was a great thing. When she came out and sang her song, child, her blonde hair, her cute blue outfit, she looked beautiful. She looked so gorgeous. I love the blue dress she was wearing. She did great, sang her face off. And I like the fact that Tank was like, yeah, this, because people forget how great she is as an artist. So I love Tank giving her some love and some light and whatnot. Let her sing the song, girl. Sing the song, girl. Now, Jamie motherfucking Foxx. When Tank was like, "Oh, I wish my friend could be here," and they were doing the Ray little riff that Jamie would do, and then Jamie walked out, and Tank was like, "Now I don't know if Tank really did not know Jamie was there. I don't know, but he looked shocked when Jamie walked out." And Jamie motherfucking Foxx. I don't think. Look, I am 44 years old. Okay, when Jamie Foxx album Unpredictable came out, when did that album come out? That album, 2005. 2005. The Unpredictable. Jamie Foxx as an artist, period. Okay. I don't think people understand how the Unpredictable album, even the Intuition album that came out in 08, those two albums, okay, those Jamie's girl, okay, he is so not entirely, but Jamie Foxx sometimes is so underrated as an artist. And that album for me is a top 5 R&B albums ever. Jamie is an actual musical genius. And so if you have never, again, I haven't heard the other albums, but Unpredictable that came out in 05 and Intuition that came out in 08. Those two albums, okay, bitty bitty bum bye. Okay. So Jamie coming out and crushing it. I mean, Jamie came out and I was like, bitch. And we kept on seeing somebody like he was gonna kiss somebody on the, I said, Jamie, don't you kiss nobody on the mouth in that audience. We don't know what a mouth's been. Okay? Don't you kiss nobody on their mouth. Okay. But Jamie is an actor, he is a comedian, he is a musician, he can do producing. Jamie is a multiple talented individual, always have been, always will be. And him coming out, and I mean, bitch, he said, my first name is Jamie. My last name is Foxx. My middle name is motherfucker. I said, motherfucking Jamie motherfucking Foxx. I said, girl, and then they did a song, girl. I was like, and to me, this is another reason why Tank won. Because Tank brought out artists that he's worked with that would rock the crowd. Not saying, with Tyrese only bringing out Chingy. That was cool. That was cool. But I really wish he would have did, even when at one point Tank had his band singing Aaliyah's song "Come Over," and when Tyrese said, "You got you singing songs people don't know," he said, "Bitch, don't you get punched in your throat, bitch? That is Aaliyah's song." I said, Tyrese, how do you not know Aaliyah's "Come Over"? So Tank brought out artists who would entertain the crowd. We would know the songs. And to me, the height of this whole thing was Jamie motherfucking Foxx. Okay? There is no, look, Jamie, don't you do nothing that make me not like you. Okay, please don't have no stuff come out about you, Jamie. Please don't let it happen, Lord, because it was such an entertaining moment, and even him saying, I'm just he kept mentioning this is my second chance at life because he had that whole health scare was gone or whatever. So even him acknowledging how he recognizes how great and how lucky he is to be here and doing this. Okay. That was amazing to me. So I'm like, yes, bitch, yes. Okay. Now, what else happened, y'all? I don't remember. I got pictures. Oh, Tyrese changed again, white shirt and all. Okay, and whatnot. Now, at one point, Tyrese left the stage and takes it. The nigga left. Yep, Tyrese left. He's crying in the car. He left his girlfriend here and all. Okay, and when Tank did he do when was it? When we? Because the one song Tank, or was it slowly? I wrote a note. Let me see. I wrote a note. Okay. Um. Let me see. Hold on. Because I said Tank performed when he won. It went into a pony a little bit. Okay. Tyrese sang a little bit of when we. And said, baby, we gonna hit this song at the house. Tank said, you don't want to fuck her with my song. You don't want to do that. And I said, I don't know. You know what? I do wonder, like, if you with your man, right? I don't know how much a man can enjoy getting sexualized, okay, when a man song is playing, even if I'm enjoying giving stuff because I love the song. I'm like, man, girl. Anyway, but Tyrese changed outfits again, and then Tank brought out uh uh Trey Songz to do the remix to When We. And when Tyrese said, "Nigga, you did that song already." Okay, this isn't called the remix. This is called Verzuz. Okay, but look, Tyrese, not Tyrese. Trey Songz has a history. Okay, the allegations. Okay, now while Tyrese, not the Grassman Tyrese, while Trey Songz in the studio singing songs is probably amazing. He does not always sound great live. Now he didn't sound horrible to me. He didn't sound horrible. However, he did not sound as good as Tank sounded or as Tyrese sounded singing. Okay. So I mean, I was a bit shocked, but I also feel like as Tank said, there were supposed to be other people there, but because of the airport stuff, some folk couldn't get there. Trey even said how, I came right from the airport. I didn't even really have an outfit. I don't like this outfit either, but I'm here. Okay. But Trey did his part of When We, and I said, I didn't need that, but okay, I guess so. I'm let it be. Okay, it's fine, but then Tyrese, okay, bitch, move. Okay, you did that. You already did that song, bitch. Get out the way, ho. I said, cool. Tank brought out his wife into children because at one point Tyrese said, where your woman at?" He said, "Where she supposed to be at, getting prepared for tonight." I said, you better say she getting ready to get banged, okay? Because Tank was like, "I am here. I'm fucking the people." So I'm getting myself all riled up. So I fucked my wife. Okay. So he brought his wife out at the end. He's also his two children. The kids, they had to go away. Okay, go away. Okay. And they had a good time. And that's kind of how it ended. And whatnot. Again, we thought Tyrese had left because he literally left the stage. But his girlfriend was still there. And they're like, the nigga left. He was in the car crying. What happened? And he came back. He said he had left because he thought it was over. And he had went and did a couple interviews backstage while Tank was performing. But he came back and they cracked some more jokes, hugged it out, and whatnot. And again, Tank never got his shirt off, but he showed the cleavage around here. Tyrese wore 18,000 suit jackets around here. And then it went off. You know, them on stage together, laughing it up. Child, it was a great little time. That was a great little time. Wait, I want to end it on this one. I put it up together. So overall, I give this Verzuz a 7.9, even maybe a little 8. The only reason I can't grade it higher than that is because I'm mad Tyrese came out to a song that wasn't his. I don't think Tank needed to bring out Trey songs. So that deducted a couple points. Okay. I still don't know who the extra 2 women was on stage with Tyrese. That confused me. I don't know why Tyrese changed 6 times. Get your ass on stage and just sing. Okay. If he would have changed clothes twice, if he would have came out in the little hoodie, okay, and that would have been okay with me. Wait, this is another Let me Is this whole song? Oh, same thing. I'm a fan of full turtleneck song. I'm a fan of full one and coming all about it. But it was just funny. But yeah, because of those couple things, is why I wish I could give it a 10. Yeah, so I know one of the women was his girlfriend. Wait, let me get to it. One of the women was his girlfriend Zelly. One of the other women was um Lala, but I don't know who the other 2. I can't even find it. I don't know who the other 2 women was. I don't know who the 2 women was, and so that's what I was saying. Oh, yeah, Tank did do the song for the Tank. He did the song Naked. I wrote a note about it, child. What did I say? I said Tank did Mark Cuban's song Naked because he wrote it. He highlighted the background figures, and so that was a great time too. That was a great time too. So overall, again, I give it a solid 7.9 out of 10. I give it a full 7.9 because it was a boom right here. I had to find it. See it. That's his girlfriend Zelly and the leopard. I don't know who the lady was in the white. Lala was the next girl, and I don't know who the girl was on the end. But again, overall, the singing was great. Even with Tyrese's antics, it was still fine. I just wish Tyrese would have not changed clothes so many times and would have stayed on stage. There was like a lot of breaks in between because they're like Tyrese back there, child switching out turtlenecks and jackets. So I wish that part was a little bit, you know what I'm saying, good, negative, or whatever. Again, they mentioned how some other folks were supposed to be there, could not get there. Tyrese handed out some roses. That was cute. He smoked a little cigarette. That was whatever. He tried to vibe it out or whatever. It was just 2 different ways they both approached it, which is great because they should not be the same. But I give it a solid. I give it a solid 8. A solid 8. Because I watched the whole thing. I laughed the whole time. I was singing the whole time. I was vibing the whole time. It was very enjoyable. But yeah, Genuine was supposed to be there too. Toward the end, they did say that they were going to end it with a TG. This is called TGT. Wait, Tank Tyree. Is it TTG or TGT? I think it's TGT. They're gonna have a TGT little thing, but Genuine could not make it because at one point, again, Tank sang a song and he kind of did a little riff of Pony, and I thought at that point, oh, here comes Genuine, but he wasn't there. He didn't come out. Okay, but it was great. It was great. It was great. Okay, it was enjoyable. To me, it would look because the last R&B verses that always stick in my head is with Omarion and Ray J and Mario, Pleasure P, Sammy, and Bobby V, because that was one of the last actual R&B promoted verses, and that was a shit show. It was entertaining, but a shit show. I feel like this was a much better version. Again, Tank bringing out Jay Valentine, Letoya Luckett, Foxx, John Trey songs. Gang brought out Chingy. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. Yeah, Tyrese said, "Look, enough of that shit." You sang a song, get off stage, Negro. This is verses. Leave me be whole. And then, and it ended with them showing love to each other, celebrating each other, make sure we know they are brothers in this. All the jokes, it was what it was. Tank was the most hilariously entertaining R&B singer ever. And all we can do is appreciate this. Now, I hope the next set of versions they have is more like this. Okay, just two artists is really planned out. Again, this they started at around 8:49, 8:50. So from like around 8:50 to around, so about 2 hours. It was about 2 hours long. That's fine by me. Okay, it wasn't a little intermission. Again, the only part I think we can do without, whoever them host was, don't bring them hosts back. Okay, don't have anybody around here who need their cell phones to talk. Okay, if you don't bring them back, and that is no shade to them. I don't know if they weren't planning to be the host. If maybe on that day, like, oh, hey, y'all, what y'all doing right now? Oh, can y'all go out and host? I don't know if that's what it was. If it was a lasting thing. But anytime you have hosts that's supposed to be hosting whatever, they should never be on their phones reading. This is Tank and Tyrese. They are here to entertain you for the versus battle here on Complex with Apple Music. My name is Tilly G, okay? And her name is the other person. I want you guys to stand up and clap your hands. Who is here to watch Tyrese? Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. So I don't know what happened with these two individuals. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And again, he from Chicago. Is Tyrese or Tank from Chicago? It was in Cali. Ebro was around there, and so was the other dude who was hosting last time. So I don't know what, but this, I was like, it's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be some bullshit. I'm like, put your damn phone down. Y'all is bad at the people in the audience. Anyway, that's all. That's it. Again, stuff happened in the world, but this is that we had an hour for verses. I don't feel like going another hour for chit chat. So I will be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. for a hot topic chat. Again, if we can find the Tyrese turtleneck song, but I'm pretty sure will probably be all over. Is this it? Hold on, let me see. This may be this. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me know. Let me know. And I hope I don't get flagged for this. But anyway. It's him fixing the turtleneck as he's saying, take off that turtleneck. Okay, please take off that turtleneck. I was cracking the fuck up. You hear me? And this is why versus is necessary. Okay? Because when they get it right, they get it right. And if this is the vibe going forward, where you have talented artists doing their thing, having a good time, celebrating each other, this can absolutely work. And I saw a bit of the pre-show where Ebro said Ebro brought up the last verses with the producers. The crowd was shitty. Okay. He also brought up the verses with No Limit versus Cash Money, where the audience wasn't, as involved. He said they made sure for this one they actually had people in the audience who were Tyrese and Tank fans, meaning they know the song, they're gonna enjoy the shit. You don't want to have a concert, which a versus is in a way, and the people in the audience are not engaging with the performers. So I think they did well to make sure the people in the audience were actual fans of Tyrese and Tank. They knew Tyrese and Tank songs. They had on Tank and Tyrese t-shirts or whatever. They were actual fans of the artist. That is the only people you should have in the audience. That's it. That's all. Because if the audience are just people who live in the city and want to come, but they're not going to interact, they're not going to sing the song, it's worthless. It's boring. It makes the show feel boring. Okay? Because the turtleneck, okay? Okay, they had actual fans and the band knowing how to flow with the fucking turtleneck song. Okay, anyway, y'all. That's it. That's all. We had an hour in. I hope y'all enjoyed. Again, I will be live tomorrow for a gossip hot topic chat and whatnot. Because I had a whole saved thing. Had a whole saved thing of stories. Because I thought, oh, this will probably just be a little 30 minutes. We went for an hour. Okay. So y'all make sure to like this video. Okay. Y'all make sure to subscribe. Y'all make sure to hype the video up on the replay and all of that. Watch the other live shows on my channel. Go and watch them. Okay, we have a good time all the time and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all ain't wearing turtlenecks. Okay, I am about to go to bed and relax. Okay, I'm gonna relate and release. But yeah, a good show. Very enjoyable, very fun. That's it. I gotta go. And I'm gonna cover my titties up, y'all. Y'all can't joke at me no more. Until tomorrow, y'all gotta go. Bye.